Hello everyone, my name is Cormeet. Well, not my name, but that's my YouTube name, so deal with it. And it's probably been at least 3.5 years since I last recorded a video which is with my voice in it, which is actually quite impressive. So anyway, today I thought I'd make a video actually like explaining my setup. Like yesterday I just sort of showcased it in action, but today I'm actually going to explain it. So bear with me for a bit. If you're not into this kind of video, you can leave. If you are, that's great, stay. Why would this kind of video be helpful? It might not, but you could learn stuff, because there's many things I use which are actually, I know, I mean, I found them quite useful, like at least compared to some of the other stuff I've used before. I'll get into that later on. So I mean, I think it's quite important to actually optimize our laptop setup, especially for people like me. I mean, I'm just a student, but I still spend at least like 5-6 hours of screen time on my laptop every day. Should probably work on decreasing that, but I won't just yet. For now, the things I can do are like, stuff like this, actually optimizing this. So now I'm gonna explain how I did that and what you can do to optimize your setup. So first thing I'm gonna discuss is my laptop. I mean, there's not much say I had in this. I don't have a gamer laptop, but it's not a potato. It's actually a decent laptop. At least way better than my previous one. It's an HP. Why do I keep pulling on the H top? It's I think in fast fetch here, you can see it's like an HP FT 0095WM. That's the actual laptop model. For some reason, it doesn't show up in this fast fetch. The CPU is a 12th gen Intel i5. It's an efficiency chip, but it's good. Decent clock speed. It has 16 gigs ish right now, but it originally came with 8 gigs. I upgraded it. It also originally came with 256 gigs of storage, which isn't bad considering that right now I think everything I use only takes up like what wait, how much space does my storage take up right now? I'm actually curious. Less than 26, 16 gigs. God damn. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I could be happy with like 128 gigs of storage. Like 512 is almost overkill for someone like me. So yeah, that's my laptop. It's my fast fetch. Now you'll notice that right now I'm using Fedora, and in the video yesterday I was using Arch Linux. What happened? Well, now I'm going to talk about my OS. So Fedora is a very good OS. I personally am more of an Arch guy. That is until I inevitably break Arch. For some reason, I don't know, like it's whenever I use Debian or Arch, I inevitably break those distros eventually. Fedora is just one of those distros that I've never really broken yet. So I kind of just end up going to this distro whenever I break those. So I think I'm just gonna stick here for a while, I'm just gonna stick here. So how is this distro gonna be helpful for you? First off, it's an easy to install Linux distro. Fedora is one of the easiest Linux distros to install. I swear it's like a 5-minute installation. Fedora. Yeah. It's backed by Red Hat, but I think it's like developed by the community and shit. It's good. The workstation edition is the one I'm using. It comes with GNOME. I'm not really a GNOME. I'm not really a desktop environment guy. I'll explain that later. But it just comes with like it comes with anything you would want out of the box. It's really good. Now this isn't cap. It's true. I agree with this statement. This is the leading Linux desktop. It's the easiest to use. Anyway, so Fedora comes with the DNF package manager, DNF syntax. I mean, so it's like, say you wanna install, it's this sudo DNF install. If you want to install btop or something, I don't know, anything, what, it's your choice. And then you want to remove something, search for something, and auto remove. Like you can do stuff, update. It's basically like apt, but instead of writing apt, you write DNF. Like most of the syntax is basically the same. Another good thing about Fedora is that, like, unlike Debian based distros, you actually get new stuff. Not as new as Arch, but it's close enough. It's close enough. Like, it isn't too restrictive for someone like me. It's good. I can actually live in this OS if I want to. Window manager. Okay, so this is my window manager in action. I think I kind of already like showed this in the video I made yesterday, but I'm just gonna show off some more. Yes, look at those cool. You can notice I do not have animations anymore. I'll explain that later. So I have keybinds for everything, File Explorer, htop, Helix. Now the window manager that I'm actually using, first of all, why am I even using a window manager? Because a desktop environment is just so much more convenient. You just get everything out of the box, and usually they have good tool sets. Why am I using a window manager? I've already used GNOME and KDE for months. They're very good, but I just, they're not perfect. GNOME, I don't know, it's like I always feel like I face problems with the GNOME in terms of customizability, and I mean, you all usually don't really care about that, but still, like, I actually face problems with it. Now there are so many people who actually customize GNOME. I couldn't really do that properly, and I'm just not used to the GNOME workflow. KDE, very good. It was kind of buggy though, and I don't know, like I just don't like some of the KDE apps. I know some KDE devs are probably crying when I'm saying this, but I don't know, I'd rather use GTK apps. I'm not really a fan of Qt for some reason. But I actually like KDE more than GNOME, at least for now. So this is my dwm config.h. So this is the Italian window manager. So why DWM? Why am I even on Xorg? Because there are so many great window manager setups for like Wayland stuff, like Hyperland, and even if I'm not on Wayland, why DWM? Okay, first off, I'll explain Wayland Xorg. So it's very simple. When I was on Wayland, on Hyperland, Sway, first off, I had many problems with Sway. I don't know why. It's just like the theming was horrible. For some reason, every app was in light mode, and I can't tolerate that at all. It was with RPMs too, not just flatpaks. So that there was something really off whenever I used Sway recently. So I just gave up on that. Also, Sway just doesn't have as many features as Hyperland. Now, as for Hyperland, why did I stop using it? Okay, whenever I connect my laptop to my external monitor, yes, I have an external monitor, it's not for gaming. I usually just like to have one monitor where I have all my windows. Like the other monitor is literally just off. So when I connect it to my external monitor, my laptop monitor is off. Like I just like close my laptop ish. I mean it's not off, but you get the point. So I usually need like a display settings app, something like a Randor for Xorg. Now on Wayland, I mean I could just use HyperCTL, but I don't know, I don't really like using CLI tools for stuff like this. I'd rather just use a GUI app. Now there is a app called NWG Display and W Display stuff like that. They just didn't work. They just didn't work. So it is a very small reason to want to stay in X, especially considering the benefits that Wayland's starting to get. But I don't really feel any benefits, many differences between X or Wayland. In fact, one benefit for using X is that I can use any compositor I like. Basically, I can use PCOM, and PCOM's a very good compositor. So, you know, the more you know. So why DWM is fast? There's one reason why I'm using DWM. I used to use i3 when I was on Xorg, and i3 was slow compared to DWM. I don't know why. It's like i3 on starter would take at least like 1.6 1.7 gigs. Right now DWM, it is taking 11%, which is I know I can't read. I'm not really used to HTOP. Oh yeah, right now it's taking 2 gigs, but that's when I have stuff like OBS running, which I think is quite decent. You know, it's good, it's respectable. Also, another good thing about DWM is that once I make a change, it's just there. Like I almost have like configuration addiction ever since I started using a window manager, and in a way DWM kind of solves that, because it's kind of annoying whenever you have to like save and then compile DWM, and then you have to log out to actually see a change. You know, it almost like it's technically a negative, but it actually works for me in a way, because I want to be more productive now. The more you know. So that's my window manager. My display manager, I used to use LY. I do not have one anymore. Right now I just like log in using the CLI prompt thing, and it's not like I manually exec DWM. I just have like I have it in my fish config, I think. Hang on, let's see. Fish. Yeah. So yeah. By the way, I'll explain the shell. So anyway, I have it in my config to just exec startx, and startx is in my extended RC. I basically it starts DWM and some theme stuff. So my shell. Why am I using fish? Why not bash? Bash is really good. Fish is really good. Personally, I'm just using fish right now because fish comes with really good defaults that I like. I find that I typically have to set up bash in some way for it to actually be like really nice. Like I'll show you some examples. First off, you can see that fish comes with like syntax highlighting. It's like actually changing the colors. This is out of the box. I didn't do shit to fish to have syntax highlighting. Like I can do soon, like because okay. So when I just type S, it's red. I type Sue, it's not red because this is actually a command that does stuff. And then D, nothing. It's red. This is stuff like it. You have stuff like that, and it's just so helpful. And just you have control left, right, control backspace, control delete. Just stuff like that just works really well in fish out of the box. I know that isn't the only reason to use fish, but it's just it's good. I don't feel like changing my shell that much. My root shell is still bash, but my user one is fish. Um, so my compositor. In the video, in my previous video, you would have seen that I had really cool animations. I do not really have them anymore. Like, I still have fade in, blur, and stuff like that, but the animations are gone. Why? So I have switched to Fedora. What does that have to do with this? When I was on Arch, I was not using normal PCOM. I was actually using this fork of PCOM called I think it was PCOM-simple anims. So this was what I was using on Arch. Problem? I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to get this working on Fedora, so I just gave up. I just got normal PCOM. For one good thing, I think PCOM is actually really smart for this. I didn't change my PCOM conf at all when I was going back to normal PCOM, and it doesn't give an error or anything. I know it can't load all of these animations, but nothing's really like failing or anything. It just doesn't load the animations, so that's good about PCOM. At least it doesn't fail. Terminal. If you can see the logo over here, that's Kitty. Woohoo! Why Kitty? Trust me, I'm not a furry. I'm using Kitty for a different reason. It's okay. There's just one reason I'm using Kitty and not like. Okay, first off, you can use any terminal you want, obviously. GNOME and KDE come with OK terminals, console, and I don't know, I forgot what GNOME terminal. I think it's just called GNOME terminal, and those are OK terminals. I mean, most terminals are good. I haven't ever used any bad terminals. It's just that those terminals do not come with many features. And now you'd be like, what does KDE come with that's so much better than those? It's this. There's two things about KDE that I like. Number one, numero uno. You can actually like KDE can render images and stuff. Like my I have this fast fetch conf. It's like a smaller fast fetch, kind of useless, but this is an image. This isn't text. It's an image, and I'm able to do that because I'm on KDE. If I bruh, can't type. If I have console over here, for instance, dang, 88 packages, bro, just for a demo, that's crazy. But anyway, so this is the console terminal. Not my favorite, but I mean, you see, it just doesn't even like show the image. Not a big deal because that fast fetch conf is kind of useless anyway, but it's the little things that count. It's the little things. Okay, I love that about DNF. I'll have to say I love that. It just automatically removes everything. It didn't always do that on Arch. Anyway, oh yeah, there's another thing I love about Kitty. It's sometimes really easy to just like do themes and stuff. So that's my terminal. Text editor. If you can see, I'm using Helix. Now, why Helix? I mean, okay. When I switched to Linux from Windows, I was using Visual Studio Code, VS Code, and that was very good. But there was some problems. First of VS Code was just, I know it like started up kind of slow and just had like kind of crappy integration with my OS. Like sometimes I would notice that this was mostly when I had the VS Code Flatpak, not necessarily something wrong with the RPM or anything, but like if I had a Python library installed in my system and then I tried to run a Python program with using that library in VS Code, it just won't run in VS Code. It would run fine from my terminal, but not in VS Code. I mean, obviously, I think I probably just had to change like the terminal path or so. I don't know. I didn't want to get into configuring VS Code, so like I just gave up on using it, and since then, I mean, I've used VS Code sometimes after that, but I'll get into why I don't use it anymore. So that was when I stopped using it at first, and then I started using stuff like Nano. I didn't like Nano. I didn't like Micro that much, though Micro was definitely better than Nano. And then I came across something I actually liked, NeoVim. Not the default NeoVim. Default NeoVim is kind of crappy. It's basically just as good as Nano. However, uh, uh, if you have this config, the lazy vim config, I mean, I know you're supposed to make your own config in LeoVim, but I'm lazy, so I just steal this, I just yoink this, and you could get a very good NeoVim config that basically works like a VS Code IDE type setup, and it's really good. It's so fast. You feel so productive when you're doing that. Problem, first, I mean, sometimes even NeoVim felt kind of slow, and it just felt kind of cumbersome. Like sometimes things would. I don't know. I just didn't like NeoVim. That I loved it more than everything else I was using, but I felt like it wasn't really the best thing I could be using, if you know what I mean. And then I've found out about this text editor called Helix, which is really good. It sort of just like takes away all the annoyances I had with NeoVim, and just I'll show you. Wait. So Helix, it's sort of like Vim, and then NeoVim. It has like keybinds, but it's a bit different. It's actually better. Some things just make more sense in this. I'd really recommend you use this. At least try it out. Okay. Menus. So this is my Rofi. It's Rofi. I also have my login thing. I'm not gonna do any of these options because that would probably end my recording, but they work. And Spotlight, I can actually search files. It just uses the bash file find command. I tried to use grep with this too, but for some reason it didn't work the way I wanted to. So I can search stuff like, I may as well search config.h. My dwm config.h. Never mind, that isn't the dwm one. It's numpy. Why the hell does that? It has one. Okay, fine. I'm actually surprised that even exists, but you get the point. Another cool thing is this can also be a calculator. If I press equal sign and then start doing something like 69 into 420, and then I get a notification 28,980. Nice. That's correct. I know math. Okay, so you'll be saying, you might be thinking, because those of you who know that who know about suckless, my window manager is suckless, but almost nothing else that I use is suckless. Why? It's because everything else that I was using felt fast enough for what I was doing. My window manager didn't though. So my window manager was the only thing that I felt switching to something suckless. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because I'm not explaining that anymore. Also, I already made some stuff for Rofi, and I don't feel like configuring them anymore. This is my the Spotlight thing. It's mostly just fine, like It's not a big deal. And then you have the what's that called? Oh yeah, the power menu. I actually called it X power menu because I used to have a different power menu for my Wayland sessions. It's simple. These are just simple bash commands that work. Nothing too crazy. You might be thinking why I don't have a lock screen. I don't know if DWM has a lock screen. I don't care enough even if it does, because like why would I lock my screen? Usually if I'm not using my computer, I just like turn it off, so like I actually do not need a lock screen. So yeah, that's Rofi. Screenshot the notification. Okay. One of the best apps for Xorg, the best apps for what it does, Flameshot. This is probably like the best screenshot thingy you can have for Xorg. I like it. It has so many features. It's just really good. I'm just gonna type 69 over here. And then just add some stuff, draw stuff. Like you can do stuff like this. It's one standalone program. That's another thing I didn't like about Wayland. I'm not really good at using Grim and Slurp and Swappy. It just feels like, why would you have 3 different programs for one? It's just taking screenshots, but Flameshot does its job and it does it well. That's another reason why I'm on Xorg. And you can see my notification daemon. That's done. I have a very simple config that just works. I didn't care much about my notifications to make any big changes. There's one other thing I forgot to include in my script, and that's my redshift. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but on my end, my screen's a bit redder than it should be. Why? Remember in the beginning I was talking about how I optimize my setup so that it's the best. Okay, blue light can be bad for your eyes, at least worse than other forms of light. So it's often best to just moderate blue light a bit. Best way to do that is with the blue light filter, and there's this program for Xorg called Redshift that does its job fairly well. It even has like fancy latitude longitude stuff, so that you can set different temperatures for night and day. I just keep 5000 for both, so my coordinates didn't matter. I think these are just random ones. Have fun trying to dox me. Those aren't even my real coordinates. But yeah, that's Redshift. It's good. So yeah, that's my setup. Go get a life.